Hi, Ms. Jenni Ho. Welcome to the National Critics' Choice Online News and Say with Hyatt International Hotels. Here at the AFCC 2012, could you give some comments, and tips about how parents around the world, including Singapore and New York, on how they could, able to engage their child to read?
Okay. I think reading is very fundamental to our ability to learn and engage the world. And I think parents who want to help their children to read are definitely on the right track. And it's very important to know that reading is part of a larger ability your child has, which is to comprehend things. And so you have to start as young as possible. I think the first thing to do when your kids are born, from the moment they are born, is to avoid all baby talk. Okay, just to speak to them as naturally as possible so that they can get the natural feel of language. And as soon as you are able to start introducing stories to them, even in the general course of the day, a meal time can become a story, where the peas and the carrots are having a conversation. And as soon as you are able to have books around the house and all that. Now, some parents may be wondering whether books is very old school. But I think the research shows that if you introduce your children to high-tech equipment too soon, they will actually not have an interest in reading, the tactile, the book, old-fashioned book type of reading. So that may actually be detrimental. If you are in New York City or you're in Singapore, you're in a very high-tech environment, they will be immersed in technology very easily, very soon. So that is not probably the thing to rush into. What I've observed also today is a lot of parents are using their iPads to babysit their kids, to keep them occupied while they're busy. I would also want to discourage that. Really start with bought books and actual books and actual reading experiences, and most importantly, to read with your children. I have discovered that children's books are probably the books I enjoy reading the most. Although I read a lot of other non-fiction and novels and stuff like that. But having children has really opened my eyes to the world of children literature, and it's an immense world. So I think our children bring us a gift. If we are willing to go to the library, pick up those books, and read it with them, I think we would come alive as well. So I would say immerse your children in proper language, tell them stories, read with them regularly, and expose them to technology slowly.
And also, everyone happens to know that you happen to be an author for children's books, and you're also a life coach, and even a columnist for Impact magazine, and also an author of When God Shapes a Wife. Now, I don't wish to be religious or in any way, but I think parents would like to know how do you actually get yourself inspired to become an author in writing children's books? Was it through your growing up experience, or is it a mentor? Could you give some three inspiring steps or advice, a lifetime advice on how parents maybe perhaps follow your footsteps?
Yeah, I think actually I have discovered that a lot of fellow parents, when they become parents, they discover things about themselves they never knew were there. One of the things I've always enjoyed doing was writing, and even back in school, my writing was usually commended. So when I became a parent, naturally, because I love good writing and I love to talk, I told my children a lot of stories. So along the way, those stories became book ideas, and they just gave me a lot of impetus to work on my writing. So I write for various audiences because I have several groups of people that I'm passionate about, including women and children and families. So that's what I do. And I think if you want to consider or just discover whether you might want to try this out, I think first is to just ask yourself whether you have a love for stories, and then start writing some simple things, and go and find a writing community that you can be a part of, whether it's online or book club, and attend some workshops to hone your skills, where you can also meet people. And it will be a journey, but if you are meant to get there, you will get there eventually.
And last but not least, we like to find out what does it take to become a author in his own right. Does it take a lot of respect in your own experience?
Actually, there are many kinds of authors. So there are authors who write specialized information, and then you need to be a specialist in that area. So if you want to write textbooks and assessment books, or if you want to write stories. I think if you are talking about creative, more fictional sort of writing, then clearly there's a lot of practice needed, maybe attending workshops. And really there's quite a lot of providential element. Like if you go to a conference, you will meet publishers and book agents and all that. And you must have something ready to show them. So if you have a ready manuscript that you have been hammering away at and you show them and it gets accepted, that's when the doors start to open. Yeah. But having said that, it's very hard in Singapore because it's really small.
Well, speaking about a smaller red dot, and Singapore has seen a huge success in able to bring impact to the world.
Yes.
What will be your next step into the future? Do you see yourself writing more books? Would there be, and also, what do you see in the children's book industry as well? So what will be your next step?
Primarily for me, I think I would like to continue to write books on the areas of my passion. I am also hoping to find an online community of other writers to encourage, because I discovered that there are many of these communities in America, hi New York, but in Asia it's still very young, this whole experience, and it would be good to do that because we have so many stories in Asia to tell the world, to tell ourselves. And I think the book direction for Asia, it would be good, and even for Singapore, is to really find our roots and become confident of it, and become confident in our storytelling, and be able to tell it very well and with panache, so that the world can grow closer together.